Good evening and welcome to your 7 p.m. update here on News Center Maine Plus. We've been following a very strong, impactful, and dynamic system throughout the entire day today. We wanted to give you guys a brief update on what the system is doing now that we're starting to get into nightfall here. I want to talk mainly about visibility, especially because it's already dark at this point, so visibility is going to be impacted even more in that way. So visibility overall has slowly been increasing over the past couple of hours as this system starts to lighten up in terms of precip in some areas. So we're up to a mile visibility in Portland, 4 miles in Rockland, but areas of northern Maine, especially kind of Bangor, north and east, that's where we are still seeing some of the heavier precip. So the visibility there is down to a half or about a quarter of a mile. And we've been referring to this storm as a marathon because it is a quite long duration storm. It's been going on for maybe about 21, 22 hours at this point. Still seeing some heavy snow areas of northern Maine. We do have a bit of a break though. If you're along kind of the southern coast here, south of Lewiston or the Lakes region here, we have had a brief break in the precip. We had some sleet and a little bit of freezing rain earlier, but we've stopped that briefly, but we will likely pick up with some snow showers as we get into the next few hours. Closer to the mid-coast and areas of down East Maine, we have started to transition some of the islands and peninsulas into some freezing rain here. You can see it in that lighter pink color. And then areas farther inland where we have that pinky purple, that's where some sleet is currently falling. Sometimes the radar does get a little bit confused between snow and sleet. So most of us here in southern Maine, if you're not seeing freezing rain, are likely seeing sleet at this point. However, if you're in northern Maine, especially up in the county or the northern mountains, you've been snow for this entire system. You haven't had to worry about that rain-snow line. That's also where we're expecting to see the highest snowfall totals once this system concludes. And I know it's been a long day, but we still have a couple more hours of precip to go. If you look into areas of southern New England or back into areas of upstate New York, still starting to see that precip shield once again begin to fill in, especially kind of over near the Finger Lakes of New York. And eventually this system will continue to move from west to east towards us here in Maine, so we still have hours of precip left to go. I know that isn't necessarily the news you want to hear, but unfortunately that is the reality. As this storm starts to slowly depart, though, it will actually bring in some colder air on the back end here, so I wouldn't be surprised if areas like the southern coast or the mid-coast actually change back over into snow as this system starts to depart. This is a look at 11 p.m., starting to clear out of areas of southern New Hampshire, some more breaks in the precipitation shield at that point. However, with the exception of areas of far northern Maine, especially in an area like Holton, Caribou, Millinocket, Presque Isle, they could see snowfall rates upwards of almost 2 inches per hour. So a lot of heavy snow going on up there. As this system departs, as we get into early Monday morning, areas inland could see a couple of scattered snow showers, especially up in the northern mountains. And then the rest of the day Monday is going to be very cold and also very windy. We'll talk more about that in a second. Still looking at that ice potential, southern 2/3 of the state mainly there. Looking at more sleet in areas inland, that freezing rain threat will be right along the immediate coastline. I mentioned that it's going to be hard to do some cleanup on Monday, especially we might actually see some more power outages tomorrow than we did today. It's because of the wind. Could see wind gusts upwards of 50, even 60 miles an hour in some spots. The National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory, which is in effect for the western half of the state. So definitely leave yourself some extra time to get ready and do some of that cleanup on Monday, especially with that shoveling. It'll be very difficult with the ice kind of crusted over top. But we want to take a quick look outside. We have Katie Delaney has joined us, and she's currently in Bangor. Do we have Katie? Oh, hello, Katie. So you actually just replaced Christian. So this is your first time being outside. How do you feel?
You know, we're feeling mixed emotions right now. Happy to change the guard. Christian was out here all day today doing a great job, and great job to you also and the whole team who have been religiously covering the storm today. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I've been home, I've been cozy all day, but now I'm out here ready to report. And right now in Bangor, we're seeing sleet, nothing but sleet. I've been listening to the difference of the sleet and the freezing rain, and we're definitely getting that classic ping for the sleet. And also, as we found out coming out here, road conditions are tough. We're at the intersection of Broadway and State Street here in Bangor. Some pretty big roads, but even these big ones are not in great shape. If you look behind us here on Broadway, there's a lot of slush on the road and snow still. The plows are out and about, but they're having a hard time keeping up with all the precipitation we're getting, especially since we're now getting that sleet in addition to the snow we had earlier. So really, if you're out on the roads, watch out. When we were driving, it was very, very slippery. So be careful, drive slow. And with all of this snow, this sleet, we're probably going to have a rough cleanup in the morning. But luckily, here in Bangor, the snow and sleet and everything should be stopping overnight. So hopefully you'll have plenty of time to shovel in the morning, but it might be a tough one. But we'll keep you updated on how things are going out here in Bangor. But Dana, back to you.
Thank you so much, Katie. Yes, definitely mentioning that the road conditions have been a little bit hazardous as we've gone into this evening, but this storm is going to be continuing as we get overnight tonight into even early tomorrow morning in some spots. So we will have another update for you on News Center Maine Plus. That will be coming up at 8. I will be back to give you some more information about the storm, as well as Katie and Pearl Small will be joining us. So we'll see you at 8, but until then, stay safe out there and have a good night.